white van with Bomb Squad written on the side, turning down onto Norfolk Street, where these people had an apartment apparently. And some of the police are now trying to clear this road out. You can see, I don't know if you can see it, there's actually an ambulance in the middle of the road. It doesn't look like anyone's gotten in, but police out and about. Here, we're zooming out so you can try to see. In the meantime, I have Neil and Bridget Scullion, and they live on Norfolk Street, just down the way from where these two young men apparently lived. And so you awoke to, what, a knock on the door?
Well, we awoke to the news on the television, and then about an hour ago, I guess, the police came and knocked on our door and told us that it was time to evacuate.
Can you, specifically, what did the police tell you guys now?
Get out of the house. No, they said, we need you to leave your house. That's all they said.
And so, in a matter of minutes, you scooped up your dog and this little one and left. Do you have any guidance as far as how long you have to be out? What's going on?
That's what I tell Daddy.
There's been no further
because America is too good and they let anybody who wants to come in
the house. We were
here.
to go.
Not everybody is coming to do good.
And you saw as well that white Bomb Squad van. Tell me precisely what you saw.
Well, it came up this street here, and then it was backing down the other end of Norfolk Street.
Pressure
let you guys go. I'm sorry, little guys.
Somebody has to
kicked out of your little apartment. So we're going to stay here, and we're going to hang tight, Chris, and just see what's going on, see if we see any more activity with the Bomb Squad van, and if any cars start coming through here, which it sounds like they may. Come back to us, and we'll let you know what we see.
They kept saying,
well, thank you very much. I want to go to the phone right now. Larry Aronson. Larry, can you hear me?
They've been here
I can.
6 or 10 years.
All right, Larry.
In fact, they were saying
I can hear you very well. Thank you for joining us and taking this opportunity. You live near the suspect that's being pursued right now by authorities here. What can you tell us about him? How recently did you speak to him? What's your take?
Well, I'm more than a neighbor. I'm a retired teacher from the high school where he graduated from, and I work part-time as a photographer at the high school, and I photographed him extensively as a wrestler on the wrestling team, as I do many other kids. And so I got to know him, and there is nothing in his character, in his deportment, in his demeanor that would suggest anything remotely capable of any of these things that are now he's suspected of doing. I mean, he couldn't have been...
Larry,
yes.
Larry, can you hear me?
Well, that's the idea, right?
Let's take a half a step back, because given what he's accused of and what he has admitted to himself, allegedly, to a hostage, he has some character flaws, to be gentle about it. Why do you believe his character seemed unassailable when you knew him?
Why do I think? I have no idea. Why that would be...
why do you think that he had good character? What was it about his character that you thought made him a solid person?
Well, let me just say this. I learned that from him that he was Chechen, because I asked him what was the origin of his name. He said Chechen, and I said, oh my God, were you there during during the war and everything? And he said yes. And I said, oh my God, how did you survive it, and so forth and so on. And he spoke about how he just, you just there, Dad, you do what you've got to do. And the point was, he was so grateful to be here. He was so grateful to be at the school. He was so grateful to be accepted. He was compassionate. He was caring. He was jovial. There was nothing remotely
what is it?
like this at all. He was forthcoming. He was, he was a lovely
Russia is another part of Russia. Some other,
somebody who perpetrated a horrible
crime.
Oh, I know, I'm not capable of this. That's what I'm saying to you. I am just one of those people. I'm not trying to protect or cover up. This is what I know him to be. He was a wonderful kid. We were proud of him. He was an outstanding athlete. He was. There's nothing. He was never a troublemaker in the school. He was never in trouble in the school.
But what changed him?
Larry, when's the last time you spoke to him? I'm sorry, Larry. When was the last time you spoke to him, and what was going on in his life?
The last time I spoke to him was on the street in Norfolk, right as I was walking up the street. I think he was going back to school. He was like on the semester break or something like that. And I said, oh, I forgot you live right next to me. I forgot all about that, you know. And he said, yeah. And I said, which one of these places is yours? And he pointed it out to me. And then I said, where are you now? And he said he was in school. I can't remember where he told me he was going to school. And I said, are you wrestling? And he said, no, I'm not wrestling. I've sort of given that up. I'm just sort of bearing down on my studies. I said, well, okay.
And when was that? Was that this spring, or was that when you said the last time was on a spring? Was it this year? Was it a year? When was it?
No. It was this year. It was like sometime like between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
Sometime I don't remember, but it was this year, right? And it could have been even more recently because he said he was on. But I remember he said he was on his break. You know, he was going back to school, right? And I think he even said he was getting in his brother's car and off he was going. You know, so he was happy to share this
It was just within the past few
with
months.
me, and etc. My phone is ringing off the hook, as you can imagine.
You know, look, there's a lot of desperation.
They dropped also
Yes, Larry, I hear. There's a lot of desperation. I'll let you get to your
7-Eleven
phone.
or
Thank
something
you for
like
the window of
that.
insight
That's why they
into
were
this young
chasing
man.
him.
I appreciate you taking the opportunity to talk to me.
They said that they were throwing
what he's talking about.
bombs
Again, these
at
are individual
police.
people with individual impressions based on very, very small slices of someone's life. But very interesting that he talked to him just within the past few months, and he's giving an impression of this young man, which matches the impression that others have given from a year or two back. Again, doing casually, neighbor, right? As I said, a small slice of life, but it matches what we've seen before. We tried to say, well, when could he have been radicalized, or could it have been completely compartmentalized in his life? This sort of adds to that big question.
All right. So let me, you know what?